Hey everybody, this is Tate here with T&J Outfitting. He's going to give us the rundown on his show and give us the spiel and the inside details on what makes his outfit so special and what's going on with this hunt. So first, thanks Tate for joining us and being part of this and allowing our members to be able to get involved with you and your outfit. Let's just start in. The first question that I tend to ask is kind of how long you've been a guide and or an outfitting business.
So I've guided for 4 years. I've owned my own business for half that. I've guided for deer, elk, moose, all kinds of animals. Yeah.
Perfect. No, that's cool. I mean, obviously anything Western, you hunt very similar, just with different tweaks here and there. So no, I totally get it. So on this hunt, where is this hunt going to take place? Where is it located?
So this mule deer hunt is in northern Utah on about 12 to 15,000 acres of private land. Pretty close to Snowville, Utah. So it's a really desert terrain.
Cool. And if somebody would fly in, where would you advise them to kind of fly into?
So if they were to fly, they'd come to Salt Lake City.
Okay. And then they need to make sure they rent a vehicle. Does it matter if it's 4-wheel drive or anything like that to get to your location? Okay.
No, and you offer pickup for a slight fee, just enough to cover the cost of gas.
Okay. So that is an option, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So once you pick them up or they drive, what kind of accommodations are they going to be looking at once they get to site?
So we're really going to be in the middle of nowhere. There's not much out there. We just offer wall tents with comfortable amenities as possible. We'll have cots with thick foam mattresses, sleeping bags, things like that. On the cold nights, we'll have stoves in the wall tents so that we can keep warm. We'll cook all the meals, all that kind of stuff. All the transportation around the hunting area is included.
Okay. So is there anything that they kind of need to think about, gutting, cleaning process, coolers, bringing the meat out, anything like that?
No, we'll take care of all that for them. We'll take care of the trophy care. We'll gut them, skin them. They can take part if they'd like, but it's totally not required. Some guys don't like to stand and watch, but
right.
I'm okay with doing everything myself. So
awesome. So when they're there, they come in. Let's say they come in the night, they get a good night of sleep. Right on wake up, what do they look like? What's the hunt going to look like throughout the day?
And say the hunters probably won't look so good when they first wake up.
Right.
So usually we're going to wake up, and have breakfast. We don't usually have a huge breakfast just because most people don't feel like having a big breakfast in the morning. But we'll wake up usually half hour to 45 minutes before sunrise. And we'll have made a plan the night before, kind of figuring out what we're going to do, where we've seen the bucks. And then we'll head up, do a morning hunt. I prefer to glass the rest of the day as well. But it's up to the hunter if they want to hunt, in the heat of the day. But we always usually hunt for 3, 4, 5 hours. Then we'll take a small lunch break and then we'll keep hunting.
Perfect. And then obviously the terrain, what kind of terrain and what do they need to be prepared for?
It's diverse. There's a lot of sagebrush, a lot of flat land. There's some pivot fields basically, where the deer come down to feed. I actually just saw like a 28-inch 3x4 in 2 days ago. So they're big bucks in there. Then there's also some foothill areas where there's going to be more cedars. In parts, there's even pines, and it slopes in pretty steep mountains.
Kind of everything then.
Yeah.
Just be ready to walk anyway.
Yeah. You got to be ready to walk the ways. It can be accommodated with just Like we can accommodate with a 4-wheeler or whatever we need to do, but the farther the person can walk, the higher the likelihood of them killing a mature deer.
Perfect. So next I kind of got, I got in any weapon that you would advise or don't use, or that kind of thing.
No, so it's an any weapon hunt is definitely open ground, a lot of it, so it's hard to do archery, but there's places land that we can do archery. What I always tell guys is bring your bow and your rifle, and when you're making your stock, have your bow with you and your rifle on your back. That way, if you bust it and it takes off running, you can still shoot it.
Awesome. So in late October, with a rifle, what kind are they going to be looking like? What are the deer going to be doing generally at this time period?
That's a hard question.
Right.
So late October, they're going to start, they're not going to be rutting, but they're going to be starting into that rutting mode.
Yep.
The bigger bucks are very smart. They'll come down and eat in the fields before, and then they'll head back up into the mountains, usually before light. So if you're not quick and you don't know what you're looking for, the big bucks are usually bedded before light. We usually know where they're at.
Right. I'm assuming, year after year, they're generally going to be in the same area. So it's just going to be, Justin, your guide, that he knows what he's doing and what he's talking about. Yeah.
And the thing about it is it is a little bit of trial and error. That's why we have a 5-day hunt and not a 1-day hunt.
Right.
But there's some mature deer shot on here every year. Last year there was 2 bucks that were 180 plus shot. Most of the deer between 140 and 170. But there's definitely some bigger bucks on there. There was a deer shot last year, I want to say, that was pretty close to 200 inches. And then I had a guy shoot at one. He couldn't walk and I couldn't get him close enough, so he took a longer shot. He missed, but it was well over 200-inch buck, probably 205.
They're definitely there. Then the genes are continuing to go. So
yeah,
no, it sounds like an opportunity.
Yeah, the opportunity's there. I can't shoot for him, sadly. Sometimes I wish I could.
Right. Get it completely. The last question I generally ask, are the winner of the auction, if they want to bring a +1, whether wife, cameraman, whatever it may be, is that an option? I'd assume there's going to be obviously an additional fee, and then even if this person wanted to talk to you ahead of time, say, hey, what's the chances I could get the tag too? Are these things options anyway?
Yeah, so we do have probably 2 tags left for mule deer this year. So there is an option of somebody getting another tag. Mostly it would be just, a +1, and we just usually charge for the food and lodging for those people. So, $100 a day generally is what we do.
Yeah. So at least it's an option, something that they can obviously have a conversation with you about and go from there.
Yep.
Awesome. No, I mean, I'm clearly jealous that, I won't be competing into this auction, but no, it sounds like a heck of a gig. Tent hunts to me are always an experience. It's about as true Western hunting as you're going to get. So, I mean, that's one thing all for itself. So that's awesome. And then the fact that you could potentially be looking at a 200-inch mule deer, it sounds like everything you guys have worked at is starting to pay off and build and grow. So I love it. I'm excited to see how this auction does, how it continues, and who wins, and follow up with them and see how their experience was. Other than that, I don't really have anything. Is there anything that you think maybe I missed, or a question that someone asks all the time you want to throw out there?
No, not really. I mean, if they come, I usually push guys beyond what they think they're capable of. Luckily on these these bigger ranches that there's a high deer population and they can be a little bit pickier and not have to walk as far doing it. But I would just say whoever comes needs to be prepared to work his tail off, because I will make sure that he gets a good experience. So
that's awesome, and I'm assuming that they are aware of that. It's not a high fist ranch. This is the real deal. So, nope.
Yeah,
that's kind of all I got. Again, thanks for being a part of this, and I look forward to seeing how this continues to work as a relationship and this hunt as well.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you later then.
Okay. Thanks a bunch.